Hello all students. So today we are going to start the discussion or revision of the unit 1. So introduction to the health. So when we are telling about the concept of the health, over the centuries from one person to the other person who has lived in the world, they are having a different idea or a different view regarding the quality of life. And the view regarding or the idea regarding the quality of life, that is changing from one concept to another concept throughout the population or throughout the lives or throughout the centuries. The concept of the health was changing, and the different concept of health, it includes biomedical concept, ecological concept, psychological concept, and the holistic concept. So everybody knows what is health. Health, it is the complete state of physical, mental, social, and spiritual well-being, isn't it? And that well-being of an individual, it is divided into four concepts, that is biomedical concept, ecological concept, psychological concept, and the holistic concept. What is this biomedical concept? So traditionally, if you're seeing, if a person was free from any disease, okay, if there is absence of a disease, that person has to be told, or that person is to be considered as a healthy person. And the medical profession viewed the human body, it is as a machine. So that machine, it will be affected by the disease. So whenever a person or whenever the machine, it is affected by the disease, there will be a breakdown, there will be a problem to the machine, and the doctor's function is to repair the machine. That is the biomedical concept. So in the biomedical concept, which was based on the germ theory of the disease, is stating that if a person is free from the disease, if there is absence of disease, that person is to be considered healthy. And if the disease, if the human being is viewed as a machine, and that machine, it will be under repair, and if it is affected by a disease, and the repair is to be done by the doctor. This is biomedical concept. Next is ecological concept. So in the ecological concept, person is there and the environment is there. There is an equilibrium between the human being and the environment, and the human being or environment, they are adjusting and they are living. And if there is any maladjustment, so the maladjustment can be a disease, and the maladjustment brings about the disequilibrium. Okay, so that is ecological concept. So if there is any problem in the human organism, both cannot able to have the state of equilibrium. Okay, if the environment undergoes any problem, if there is any problem in the functioning, or if there is any discomfort or any maladjustment in the functioning of the environment, then human cannot survive. So the balance between the human and the environment, that is known as ecological concept. So in the ecological concept, either the man can be imperfect or the environment can be imperfect. So that is ecological concept. When both are living in harmony, when both are living, that is when human being and environment are are maintaining a equilibrium between both of them, that is known as ecological concept. And when there is an equilibrium, health will be there. Whenever there is disequilibrium, it will be a state of illness. Next is psychosocial concept. So psychosocial concept, it is viewing health as not only a biomedical phenomenon, but different factors are influenced on the health of a person. So what are the different factors? It is social, psychological, cultural, economical, and political factors of the people. So all these factors along with the biomedical factor is making the health concept in an individual, that is psychosocial concept. So in the psychosocial concept, if you are seeing, not only the biomedical phenomenon, even the person should have social, psychological, cultural, economic, and political factors so that when all the factors are there, when all the factors, these all factors are contributing towards the health. If there is any mismatching or any problem in any of these factors, then the human being is not a healthy person. Next is holistic concept. The fourth concept was the holistic concept. So it is recognizing the strength of social, economic, political, and environmental influences of the health. And in this holistic concept, all the concepts or all the factors, all the dimensions, they will be unifying, and then they are providing the well-being in a person. If they are not unifying the factors such as the social factors, economic factors, political and environmental influences, if they are not unifying together, then the disease is there for the person. So that is the concept. So health, which was viewed as a complete state of physical, mental, social and spiritual well-being, is held on the four concepts. So what was the four concepts? It was biomedical concept, ecological concept, psychosocial concept and the holistic concept. Moving on to the dimensions. So in the holistic concept, I have told you that health, it is a multi-dimensional state, and main three to four dimensions it are the physical, mental, social and the spiritual. Okay, so these are the main dimensions, and along with that, emotional, vocational, political, physical, philosophical, cultural, socio-economic, environmental, educational, nutritional, curative, and preventive factors or the dimensions are also there. So, health means a multi-dimensional state which is characterized by the different perspectives such as mental, physical, social, spiritual, emotional, vocational, political, philosophical, cultural, etc. So on. So many dimensions are there for the health. So what is the physical dimension? The physiological perspective of an individual is termed as the physical dimension. So in the physiological perspective, every organ or every cell, it is functioning. It will function in their optimum capacity, and why they are functioning in order to maintain the perfect harmony with the rest of the body. Okay, so physical dimension, the concept of physical dimension, it is that each and every cell or organ, it is functioning inside the body so that the human being can be provided with the ultimate health. Okay, and whenever there is any change or the physical health of an individual, it is measured by the morbidity and the mortality rates. So morbidity rate means it is the sickness rate. How many number of people is sick? Mortality means death rate. How many are deceased? That is mortality rate. So physical dimension, it means that, or the concept behind the physical dimension is that every cell or every organ inside the body is functioning to give harmony, the perfect harmony or the optimum level of health to the other parts of the body or to the complete individual. That is physical dimension. Next is mental dimension. So the mental dimension, it is the state or the balance between the individual and the surrounding world. Okay, even it can also tell that it is the stability or it is the balance which is maintained by one individual itself. Then the relationship between the other people who is living in a society or who is living in a environment, and if the individual is having the ability to think clearly, ability to think coherently, then he will be maintaining a sound socialization within the communities, and he will be having to tell that he is a person with a good mental health. So if he cannot able to think clearly, or if he is not able to maintain the balance between his own and along with the other members, then it is a mental illness. So that is mental dimension. So mental dimension, it means that so a person, he or she is having the ability to think clearly so that he can deal with the socialization in the communities. What are the features of a mentally healthy person? So mentally healthy person will be free from internal conflicts. He will be very sound in mind and he will be free from all the internal conflicts. He is very well adjusted to the external environment. He will be searching for his identity, or he will try to put his identity in a society. He will be having a strong sense of self-esteem, and he is knowing himself, like he can able to control his emotions, or he can able to control his mind. He knows what are all the problems, he knows how to solve the problems, and he knows what is the goal and which time period he has to complete it. So when all these features are there, we can tell that a person is a mentally healthy person. Then he is having good self control, he will be balancing between his emotions, then he will face the problem in his life and he will try to solve the problem intellectually. So when these characters such as free from internal conflicts, a well adjusted individual, the one who is searching for his own identity, the one who is having the sense of strong self esteem, then when one knows how to balance his mind, then when one knows how to control himself, the one who is facing the problem and solving the problems intellectually, and the one who is setting a goal and achieving it within a time period, we can tell that those persons are mentally healthy persons. So these are the features of a mentally healthy person. Coming to the social dimension. Next dimension is social dimension. So in the social dimension, it is referring to the ability to make or maintain the relationship between one person to the other. So whenever the persons are making or maintaining the relationship within the people and in the people in the community, that dimension, it is the concept behind the social dimension. Then, if you're seeing in the social dimension, the individuals will be keeping up the harmony between the each individual or between the other members of the society. And they will have the ability to see oneself as a responsible member of a society, and then they will be possessing their social skills and they will be functioning towards the society, so that one individual can be contributing healthily towards the society. That is the concept behind the social dimension. So in the social dimension, one individual, he or she will be seeing herself or himself as a responsible member of a society and providing factors or contributing towards the social functioning of a society. Also, when one person can able to maintain the relationship with the other persons or with the community, then that is the social concept behind the health. So those persons are tend to be healthy persons. Next is spiritual dimension. So spiritual dimension connected with the religious beliefs and the practices. Okay. So when one person, when he or she is seeking for the peace of mind, or when one want to be peace with oneself, they will seek for the spirituality. And if the person is having a good spiritual health, he or she can able to control the emotions, and also they will be transcending the physiology and psychology. They will be having commitment to some higher being, they will be believing in concept, and they will be explaining it, they will be knowing the principles, ethics and purposes of their life, so that they will be living a healthy life. So if that spiritual health, see, the spiritual health is boosting up the religious belief, it is a religious belief or practices, it is boosting up to have the good mental health, and thereby we can able to ensure the physical health. So what was the dimensions of health? It was, the main one was physical dimension, mental dimension, social dimension, spiritual dimension. Coming to the indicators of health. So our next topic is indicators of health. So health indicators are the variables which are measuring the health status of an individual. Okay, what are indicators? Health indicators, it means that they are a variable which are measuring the health status of an individual directly or indirectly. Okay, so the indicators which are measuring the health of an individual directly or indirectly is known as indicators of health. So what are the different types of indicators? So what are the different indicators by which we can able to measure the health? Number one, it is the mortality indicator. Already I have told you mortality means it is related to the death rates. Okay. So crude death rate, life expectancy. Life expectancy means like we will be calculating how much life in average for how many years of life a person is living. That is life expectancy. Infant mortality rate. It means that how many infants are dying per year for this much of population. That is infant mortality rate. Infant means a baby who is between 1 month to 1 year of life. We will call them as a infant. So how many infants are dying per year for this much for a particular population is termed as infant mortality rate. Same as child mortality rate. Under 5. Under 5 means how many children below the age of 5 are dying. That is known as under 5 mortality rate. Maternal mortality ratio. Number of women, okay, who is pregnant or related to the pregnancy diseases, related to the after delivery diseases, how many are dying? That is maternal mortality ratio. Disease specific mortality, proportional mortality rate. So these all are the death rates which is giving that measurement that whether the people are following the good health practices or not. Next is morbidity indicator. Morbidity means sickness. So incidence rate, prevalence rate. Incidence means how many people are affected. Prevalence, how many can have the disease. Prevalence. Disease notification rate. OPD attendance, how many people are attending the OPD. Okay. OPD means that whenever you are going for outpatient services in the hospital, that is known as OPD attendance. Admission rate in a hospital, readmission rate in a hospital, discharge rate in a hospital, duration of stay in hospital, okay, sickness, absence from work or school. So these all factors, these all measurements will give you that how many people are sick in a particular area or per population. That is morbidity indicator. So mortality indicator, it means the death rates indicator. Morbidity rate means, morbidity indicator means sickness indicators. Next is nutritional status indicator. Okay, anthropometric measurement. Anthropometric measurement, it is nothing but the head circumference, the chest circumference, measurement of the head, measurement of the chest, and measurement of the mid-arm. Togetherly, height, weight of a child togetherly is known as anthropometric measurement. So if the anthropometric measurement is right, it will be telling you the information that whether a kid is having proper growth. Okay, how the child will be growing through his nutrition only. So if the child is having proper anthropometric measurement, it is indicating that the child is taking adequate nutrition. Okay, so thereby we can able to calculate the health. Prevalence of low birth weight. So whenever a baby is born, so if the birth weight is coming within the normal ranges, that is about 2.5 to 3.5. So within the normal range, if it is coming, then we can tell that the nutritional status of the mother of a child, it is good, and that is a good indicator of health. Next, healthcare delivery indicators like doctor to population ratio, bed nurse ratio. So according to the population, the number of doctors and nurses to be increased. Okay, and then only we can able to find that whether it is a good indicator of health. Utilization rates. Okay, if the population is using immunization services, if the pregnant women, if they are using the antenatal services, and the percentage of hospital delivery, how many women are delivering in a hospital, contraceptive prevalence rate, how many people are using the contraceptives, so that we can able to control the population. If the bed occupancy rate is low, if the average length of the stay in a hospital, if it is low, and bed turnover rate, if it is low, we can say that by utilizing all the services, we can say that whether population is having a good health or not. So suppose if the persons are not using the immunization services properly, then diseases can be attacked. The 6 killer diseases or any sort of diseases can be attacked towards a particular population, and then the health will be deteriorated. Next is indicators of social and mental health. So we can able to measure the social and mental health of a particular population if suicide rate, homicide rates, violence, crime, drug abuse, smoking, alcohol consumption, if everything is in a decreased level. So that is indicating that a particular community or a particular area of population is having good health. Okay, that is another indicator. So whenever we are measuring the social and mental health in a particular area. Environmental indicators such as proportion of having the safe drinking water services, improved sanitation facility in a particular locality, level of air population, water pollution, noise pollution, if it is less. So it is indicating that, say, if noise pollution, water pollution, air pollution, if it is less, and if a population is having improved sanitation facility and safe drinking water, it indicates that the health of that particular society will be high. Okay, and if these services are not there, and if air pollution, water pollution and noise pollution is there in a particular area, it is indicating that that particular population is prone for all the illness. Next is social economic indicators. Rate of population increase, per capita income, dependency rate, level of unemployment, literacy rate, family size. Okay, so if the family size is increasing, if literacy rate is low, if there is unemployment, and if the population is increasing, then it is indicating that that particular community is having the chances of deterioration of health. Next is health policy indicators. So the policies which is related towards the water supply, sanitation, housing, nutrition, regarding the proportion of the health resources. So if the proportion of these health policies are there matching with the number of population, then that is a good quality or good indicator of health. And the last one, it is indicators of quality of life. If there is less infant mortality rate, if the literacy rate is high, if the life expectancy rate is more, age is more, it indicates that quality of life maintained by a particular person or a particular group of person, it is good, and that is a good indicator of health. But if infant mortality rate is more, if literacy rate is low, and if the life expectancy age is low, it indicates that quality of life is poor, and that is an indicator of illness. Okay, so in this session, I have told you we have discussed regarding the concept of health, what are the dimensions of health, and what are the indicators of the health. I hope you all have understood the session. Thank you, students.